I'm too loud, am I? Good evening and welcome to beautiful Byesville, Ohio, and the campus of Meadowbrook High School for the Division II Boys Sectional Championship game between the 5th seed Indian Valley Braves, who come in with a record of 15-7, as they take on your Meadowbrook Colts, the 4th seed, who come in with a record of 20-2. For the lovely and eloquent Brittany Rowe, who is producing our broadcast tonight, I'm merely Tom Strasser, and if you're going to bring a big game across the KGP airwaves, you better bring a big mouth with you, and I've done that. This man needs no introduction, but I'm going to give him one anyway. It's the one and only D-Train, Darren McCullough, and Train, it's been an exciting basketball season across the board, and now it really gets fun.
Oh, definitely an exciting weekend for sure. This weekend in general, you have on the girls' side, we got teams punching their tickets to the regional tournament, and then you got boys' side that are punching their tickets to the district tournament. And obviously, just while you were talking there, you see some Ridgewood kids that were walking up finding seats here. They had a big 71-70 overtime victory over Bel Air last night. I mean, a big win for them. Lots of teams around the area picked up some wins last night, obviously, and today the one that I thought was pretty cool last night, Sheridan girls punched their ticket to the regionals. Well, this afternoon, the John Glenn girls and Tri-Valley girls punched their ticket. So 3 of the 4 teams in the Division II East-Southeast Regional is going to be MVL schools. And now let's see, John Glenn and Sheridan play at 6 o'clock on Tuesday at Zanesville High School, while Tri-Valley plays Warren at 8 p.m. So kind of an exciting time there for a good Tuesday night. And then obviously tonight we got Indian Valley and Meadowbrook, and the winner of this game plays the winner of the John Glenn New Philadelphia game Wednesday night. So it might be another night of back-to-back basketball action for area fans if they want to go see the two or even 3, I should say, MVL girls teams on Tuesday, and then seeing a team on Wednesday night.
Yeah, and a special shout-out to the Lady Muskies, John Glenn, and their second-year head coach, Gary Sigmund, on being district champs, and good luck to the Lady Muskies. And Train, it's been a big weekend thus far of basketball. Division 3 and 4 were last night. We'll recap some of those games during the broadcast. Division 2 tonight, and this is probably the headliner of all the D2 games tonight.
Yeah, like Tuesday during the opener against Cambridge, Heath and I were talking, this district, I want to say it was just Division 2, but it may be in the state of Ohio, was ranked as the second hardest district to come out of, and that just shows the level of competition from top to bottom. I mean, you got a great Indian Valley team. You want to talk about a great 1,000-point scorer in the Hagen kid, Lucas Hagen. He's shooting 52% from downtown. Well, Meadowbrook can counter that with their own 1,000-point scorer and all-time leading scorer, Jake Hagen, who's shooting 53%. So he got to one-up him there. Obviously, we were talking about beforehand, the Pryor kid, number 10, is a great Tyson Pryor, great athlete for the Indian Valley Braves. And looking over at Isaac Klasner, another great shooter. That's a guy that Meadowbrook's going to have to find. He can knock down the outside shot. He's a very dangerous player.
Yeah, if these two teams are the 4th and 5th seed, either they were definitely underseeded, or it is a stacked sectional, and it definitely is. It ought to be a lot of fun. It's Indian Valley and Meadowbrook. Division II sectional. We'll take a step aside and listen to the national anthem and be back for the starting lineups. All right, a riveting and extraordinary rendition of the national anthem by the Brook Singers, who always do a great job. And now we're going to get you, so we're getting ready for the starting lineups. We'll look first for the visitors, and that is the 5th seed Indian Valley Braves. Their starting lineup looks this way: a 6'2" sophomore, number 10, Tyson Pryor, a 5'10" sophomore, number 21, Canyon McComb, and the guy you touched on, the 1,000-point scorer, 6'1" senior, number 22, Lucas Hagan, and then 23 is a 6-foot junior, Isaac Glassner, and then the rounding out the starting lineup will be a 6-foot senior, number 42, Cameron Anderson. So it'll be Anderson, Glassner, McComb, Hagan, and Pryor for the Indian Valley Braves. Starting lineup for the Meadowbrook Colts, the 4th seed. We'll go this way: 6'3", senior, 00, Drew Webster, 6'4", senior, number 1, Romeo Dorsey. Then you will have 5'11", senior, number 10, Josh Hupp, 5'11", senior, number 13, Trayvon Mail, and then rounding out lineup will be the 5'11" senior, number 3, Jake Singleton, who became the school's all-time leading scorer here at Meadowbrook just 2 games ago.
Yeah, against down in New Lex, and was honored after the Cambridge tournament win, with him and Bob Lucas and his uncle, Devin Singleton, were all had a presentation, since he not only beat the Meadowbrook scoring record, but it was the Rolling Hills School District scoring record as well.
And Train, we played that night. I got to watch the rebroadcast of the game. You and Heath did a great job, and for y'all to cover that ceremony. That was pretty neat to have them 3 out there.
Yeah, it's not very often that you can get 3 people of that much caliber at the same place at the same time. And obviously Bob Lucas is a 1966 graduate, so a little bit older, so it's kind of tough maybe to travel. I know he still lives in the area, but it's always great when you can honor legends like him and a guy who's held that record for as long as he has, and to kind of pass that torch, so to speak, to Jake.
Yeah, and I had the privilege when I was the head girls coach here at Meadowbrook on 2 different stints to have his lovely daughter, Krista Shriver, who was an outstanding basketball player in her own right, with a state title banner up here to show for it.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure her name's on one of these banners up here.
But Train, let's just hope that Jake Singleton can hold that scoring record for as long as the Honorable Mr. Lucas did.
Yeah. and you know what? I'm sure Meadowbrook fans wouldn't really be disappointed if in like 5 to 10 years somebody else, but that means you have another great basketball player coming up through the system that gets people to watch and enjoy.
But I tell you, when you look at the players that have come through here, it's amazing that record lasted that long, because they have had some outstanding offensive players, and you just need no further than to look than Jake's older brother. Mm-hmm. Just so we're getting set for a tip-off. Thanks for joining us here on KGP TV. It ought to be a very entertaining game. 32 minutes. Who will have the opportunity to cut down the nets and advance to the districts, where more than likely we're saying it will be the number 1 seed New Philadelphia Quakers.
And it's been a busy day here at Meadowbrook High School. Earlier today, Division IV district final, Monroe Central played and defeated Zanesville Rosecrans here at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, congratulations to Coach Troy Baker and the Seminoles. So it's Indian Valley with the ball. Tenacious defense here on the opening possession by Meadowbrook. And Indian Valley really having trouble getting anything set. Anderson comes to relieve pressure.
And the crowd's definitely bringing their A game here early. Yeah. This is one of the loudest environments we've heard here at the cage all year long.
And I think you're right. Meadowbrook maybe feels a little disrespected of some of the comments that have been said leading up to this game.
And it being a number 4 seed as well. I mean, I had him as a 2 seed as Pryor drives and misses, gets his own board.
And his stick back is up and no good. Hupp clears. Meadowbrook on the push. Singleton drops it down to Dorsey. His shot rejected by Hagan, so it'll be possession Meadowbrook. And Indian Valley, they will be very patient offensively. And they really shoot the 3-ball extremely well. Speaking of shooting the 3-ball extremely well, Singleton has it.
And it looks like Indian Valley's borrowing a little strategy the Bobcats did the last game as Jake gets it up top. They send 2 guys at him.
Not a bad idea. Hagan guarding Hupp. Indian Valley showing some defensive tenacity. Singleton gets loose baseline runner, no good. Anderson clears the rebound for the Braves. Still no score here. Just over a minute and a half into the game. McComb, sophomore, guarded tight by Singleton. Glossner has the ball knocked out of bounds, and he'll stay with the Braves.
We got to give a shout out to both coaches. Both of these guys is their first year as head coach on the boys squad now for Coach Jarrett, as he was the girls coach, and for Coach Tyrone Miller, he was a coach at Tuskegee Central Catholic, and where he took them to a state semifinal in 2015. So, I mean, there's a lot of knowledge of the game on both sides, and obviously that Meadowbrook bench, every coach on that bench has head coaching experience, so a lot of wealth of knowledge.
That foul called on Webster. That's the first foul of the game, and you mentioned Tyrone Miller. A lot of folks around here who love coming to the Division IV districts. Seen a lot of him with TCC over the years. So there's our first turnover.
And Trayvon, who's really stepped up as that go-to lockdown defender, gets that steal.
Hupp has it. Goes down the lane, off the glass, no good. Dorsey battles for the rebound. Klassner comes out with it. Nice Euro step. His shot's a little short. Hupp open down the court, and he'll draw contact by Pryor. And both teams a little amped up, and a lot of shots are a little short from both sides.
And they're kind of thinking that they're playing on the wrong court. They're thinking they might be outside on the gridiron, as we've known Meadowbrook and Indian Valley's met numerous times there, as Hupp shots off rebounded by Klassner.
So Klassner will look to push. Still no score. Trust me, both teams will get heated up here. Webster applying the D up top. Anderson. He's the lunch pail guy for Indian Valley. Really an unsung hero for this team. Pryor, nice step back. Shot no good. Webster runs down the rebound. Still no score.
And good job there. Just from the little bit I watched of the game, Pryor's a lot left-handed. Take that left hand away. That's what Hupp did, forced him to go right. He stepped back and probably took a tough shot, but Meadowbrook gets a rebound. Now they're looking to score.
Webster has it up top. Guarded by Pryor. Pryor has a foul, and Webster. They each have one foul. That's been the only whistle so far. Both teams really having a hard time getting any good looks. Floater by Mel, no good. Dorsey, stick back, good. So Meadowbrook's on the board first. They'll come with a little three-quarters, half-court trap. There's Hagan. He got loose. He shot no good. McComb has it off the glass and good.
So the Braves put one back to tie it back up. Meadowbrook gets put back. They get one as well.
And Hagan, that may be the most open three-point look that he gets tonight. Meadowbrook dodged the bullet there. Singleton down the lane, scoop shot, good.
Good pass and good cut. It's a good pass from Hupp. Find him in the lane, and when Jake gets that close, he's about a 95% shooter, I think.
Anderson and Dorsey, a lot of physicality going on between them two. Singleton blocks McComb's shot. Now Singleton off to the races. Down the lane, and he will draw contact and go to the line. And that's a big foul there, Train. That is Pryor's second foul.
Yeah, so Indian Valley has two kids at the scores table getting ready to check in as Jake knocks down the first.
So Meadowbrook
like
out.
Sam Carter and Reese Colson checking in for the Braves.
Meadowbrook looking to extend their early lead. It stays at 3. McComb with the rebound. And it will be the aforementioned Sam Carter bringing it up. Hagan baseline, his shot, he just leaves it short.
Definitely surprising there. Hagan just, I think he was a little worried with Romeo being there to block it and wanted to get a better angle, and it didn't work out for him as Anderson's going to be called for the foul here.
That'd be the third team foul. And you're right, Dorsey has blocked his fair share of shots. Oh, they're going to call the foul on Dorsey.
Okay.
And Coach Jarrett, he thought, we all thought the initial call, the way they pointed was on Anderson, but we said you got to keep an eye on that. Anderson and Dorsey, both, they like contact. Yeah, they've been banging.
That's going to be a heavyweight fight down in the paint for sure.
Carter cut off. Hagan hesitated with the 3, and it's short again. But he secures the tip out on the rebound. McComb, he has the only basket for Indian Valley, and there's their second turnover. Klassner will check in for McComb for the Braves.
Easton Ibel's going to check in from Mayo here for the Colts.
So we're now 6 minutes in to the sectional finals. 5-2 Meadowbrook. Well, defense is really setting a tone here. Hupp thinks about the 3. Gives it to Webster. Ibel will dial it up. Back rim, no good. Train, that may be the first missed shot we've had as Klassner misses. That was actually long, hit the back of the rim instead of the front. Everything else has seemed to be short. Nice pass inside the Dorsey. Layup good. Give Hupp the assist.
So Hupp with 2 big assists here for Meadowbrook, which has led to 2 of their 3 field goals.
7-2 Meadowbrook. The 2,000-point scorers guarding each other. Nice. Look at Webster on the floor. Gives it to Singleton. Layup good. Timeout, Indian Valley.
That's just great hustle on Drew Webster right there. Tips it away. Lays out and giving up his body. Gets it. Tosses it to Jake and gets the lay-in. You gotta love seeing that. You gotta love players aren't afraid to get dirty, so to speak, and dive on the floor, have that floor burn.
And wow, and what an impressive start by Meadowbrook. Now, Meadowbrook, their last 3 games or so down the stretch, you know, they were battles, and people were wondering, hey, are they not playing that well? Come on, they're 20-2. You know, give Cambridge credit as well as Zanesville. You know, they played real well, and Meadowbrook still found a way, especially this past Tuesday, to, you know, survive and advance. But, man, they seem to have their A-plus game thus far.
If I can borrow one of your favorite lines, it's right now at this point in time, it's just win, baby.
Amen. So Indian Valley will bring it up. Remember, the big story thus far, if you're joining us, is Tyson Pryor, the outstanding sophomore for Indian Valley, on the bench with 2 early fouls. And here's another turnover for Indian Valley, and Anderson probably saved the layup laying out there.
I thought they were going to get him called for the foul, but they didn't call it. McComb's going to check back in for the Braves. And it looks like Winger's going to check in as well.
So now Meadowbrook can get the old back-to-back possession here. Because they're going to have the possession arrow to start the second quarter. They can hold it here for the first. Up 7. Mel has it. Deep 3 by Singleton, no good. But that will end the first quarter. Your score after 1. Meadowbrook 9, Indian Valley 2. You're watching the Division II Boys Sectional Final here on KGP TV. And we'll be back after this timeout. Welcome back to Meadowbrook High School. Meadowbrook with the early 9-2 lead. Singleton has 5. Dorsey has 4 for Meadowbrook. Tanyan McComb has the only basket for Indian Valley, and some first quarter stats that stick out.
Big thing is Meadowbrook and Indian Valley both cold from the field as they're combined 5 of 19. Meadowbrook 4 of 11. Indian Valley 1 of 8. Indian Valley's winning the rebound edge 9-6 right now, so they're getting opportunities. Both teams can't get them to convert, but Meadowbrook did get hot after that sluggy start. I think they started 0 of 5, so they hit 4 of their last 6.
Dorsey off the glass, no good, and turnovers have hurt Indian Valley uncharacteristic with some. Hagan gives it to McComb, baseline. He'll dribble it back up. Mel guarding Glassner. And that's probably not a bad foul by Hupp.
So Webster's going to check back in here for the Colts.
Colson had him sealed. Next dead ball, we'll give a shout out to our fine sponsors as Indian Valley will turn it over.
Well, that's the second steal of the night for Hupp as Webster's 3 rattles up.
Dorsey with the rebound. And there's a rare turnover for Meadowbrook. And our sponsors,
We're going to be quick. We got OHSAA, Meadowbrook Teachers Union, FMJ Indoor Range, the Stimmer Family, Graham Excavating, Westfall Services, Main Screen Printing, Schaefer Insurance Industry, Rick's Place Auto Sales, Downtown Arena, Big Fitz Barbecue, G&B Roofing, and Jagged Edges Hair Studio.
Good job.
Woo!
Glasner off the bounce, guarded nicely by Mail. Like you said, he's one of the better on-ball defenders we have seen this season.
And he's kind of taken that responsibility as being that number one guy. Jake gets the steal and the layup on the other end.
Oh, Jake Singleton with the deuce. He now has 7, and it is a 9-point lead. And Indian Valley just really struggling offensively.
And it just seems like, credit to Meadowbrook some too there. It just seems like Meadowbrook has taken their defensive intensity to another level, especially this game. They've been good, solid defensively all year, but they've ratcheted up to another level here tonight.
Yes. Yeah, credit their defense a lot, and especially securing the defensive boards. I think Indian Valley, I can recall one offensive rebound, not many besides that. Anderson has it. And again, really pushing this Brave offense up near half court. McComb takes it. Oh, nice shot.
And McComb's been the offense for the Braves. He has all 4 points for him here.
Yeah, and remember, McComb, only a sophomore. Singleton pulls up on the dime, no good. Rebound comes down to Hagan. Gives it to Carter. Indian Valley looking to convert on back-to-back possessions for the first time tonight. McComb backs it back out. Carter down the lane. Layup good. Sam Carter's given Coach Miller some quality minutes off the bench here. That's his first 2.
Yeah, and I think he's the smallest man on the floor, so being able to go in there amongst those trees and drive to the hoop and finish in that layup's a pretty tall task, so to speak, for him.
Singleton's fadeaway, no good. Good look. Rebound Webster. Mail thinks about the 3, swings it back over to Hupp. Indian Valley coaches up in unison.
We're going to have a bump on Hagan there.
And like on the other end, probably not a bad foul as that saved a layup. So Meadowbrook to trigger it inside underneath their own basket. Dorsey and Anderson really doing a lot of banging. Down the lane. Webster, layup good.
So that was a good job by Indian Valley on the out and under. They knew Singleton was going to come up off that elevator screen. They switched it and took that away, but Webster ends up getting it, and he attacks the hoop and gets the lay-in.
That's why you are one, if not the premier color man. Anytime you can get the elevator screen in. Oh, Glasner. The degree of difficulty on that shot as Dorsey contested. But Indian Valley, they've hit their last 3 shots. Singleton's shot left a little short. So Glasner will dribble it back up. My man, are you, with the score, are you kind of surprised the low score?
I mean, I think if they said it was going to be 13-8 over halfway in the third quarter, I was like, wow, Indian Valley's doing their job. They want to slow this game down and slow Meadowbrook down, and they're kind of controlling the tempo right now, but Meadowbrook has played outstanding defensively, which has kind of made up for the slow pace.
McComb will go to the line for 2, and I tell you what, I think it's been more Meadowbrook's defense making Indian Valley work for good looks.
I mean, there on that little series, Indian Valley just kind of slowed it down and lulled Meadowbrook to sleep a little bit as McComb hits his first free throw.
Yeah, McComb has 5 to lead the Braves, and he can make this a one-possession game. Timeout by Coach Taryn Jarrett. Be a 30-second timeout, and give Indian Valley credit. It wasn't the best of starts, down 9-2, but since then, they're on a little mini 7-4 run to get right back in it.
Clawing back in it, and I mean, it's the only reason they play the first quarter is to get to the next 3, so obviously Meadowbrook can't hang their heads and say, okay, we played 8 minutes of basketball, we got this victory. No, we got to play 32 minutes of basketball here tonight, and Indian Valley's starting to get a little more comfortable. And obviously, hey, this first half's going to be tough for them. You got the Meadowbrook student section right on your end. I mean, you're looking to shoot, and you see all of those different colored jerseys and kids yelling and screaming. It's not going to be the easiest of atmospheres to shoot buckets and score points against.
Okay, at halftime, I will ask you to pick out your favorite jersey.
I already can do that.
All right.
That one's easy. We got Wagon down there, Joe Wagon, wearing the Justin Fields jersey.
Wow.
Justin Fields Chicago Bears jersey. We did have, I know there was a girl wearing a Fields High State jersey.
Singleton shot no good, and Indian Valley will bring it back up. Nearing the 2.5-minute mark here in the first half. Anderson backdoor cut. Lassner layup good, and that's one of the things. They run their offense through Anderson, and he's a pinpoint passer.
He's not going to be one that's going to give you like 20 points a game, but he does a lot of the just dirty work for him, like you said.
The coaching staff, they cannot say enough about all the dirty work he does. And there's Dorsey getting loose inside, and Romeo Dorsey. That's going to be a tough cover for Anderson.
It was a good find by Webster, too, to kind of lead him in there for that layup.
So Carter takes Eibel off the bounce.
I tell you what, Carter's come off the bench, and I don't think he's been back on the bench since he came off of it. I think he's played since he first checked in the whole time.
And Hagan, the outstanding scorer for Indian Valley. He got a couple of looks early, didn't knock him down, hasn't had any since. Anderson's shot rejected, and he's going to foul Dorsey in the backcourt.
Yeah, that was just a frustration foul by him. Dorsey stayed down, played great defense there, got the block, got the rebound, and then Anderson kind of took some frustration out there. So Trayvon Males checked back in for Meadowbrook. He's going to get Eibel.
Right, the officials. Their point. Oh, I
think they originally gave it to the wrong player, wrong number,
yes.
and they had to get together. I mean, I think you can tell who 42 is compared to the others on the Indian Valley team. I mean,
and they were the only two. Him and Dorsey were the only two back there. Yeah. So they got that squared away. Good job by the officials. Webster open three. Good.
Big three there. Good pass by Jake, being unselfish. Obviously, he can make that shot in the paint with ease, but he'd rather pass up a decent shot for a great shot. Found an open Webster, top of the key. Webster cashes it in.
Carter Hagan dials up a deep three. No good. And Hagan still scoreless here in the first half. So Meadowbrook will look to take at least a 6-point lead into the locker room. as Indian Valley has got it as close as 3 after falling behind 9-2. 3 ball by Mail. Rainbow shot, no good. Ball's loose. Dorsey picks it up. And the shot by Mail is no good. So that ends a tenacious first half of basketball. What would you expect? It's the sectional championship game, boys, Division II, and at the half. It's Meadowbrook 18, Indian Valley 12. We'll step aside, crunch some numbers, and come back and give you the individual scoring as well. Let's get some first half statistics and expertise analysis of what we've just witnessed here in Byesville from the one and only D-Train after this timeout. Welcome back at the half here in Byesville. Meadowbrook in Indian Valley, Division II boys sectional final. And at the half, Meadowbrook leads Indian Valley a score of 18-12. Meadowbrook led after one, 9-2. And then Indian Valley would outscore Meadowbrook 10-9 in the second quarter to cut in to the 7-point lead and make it a 6-point deficit for the Braves. Scoring for Indian Valley, 2 points apiece for Sam Carter, Cameron Anderson, and Isaac Klasner. And leading the way with 6 points, Tanya McComb. So McComb with 6, Klasner, Anderson, and Carter with 2 points apiece for Indian Valley. For Meadowbrook, they have 3 players in the scoring column. 5 points for Drew Webster, 6 for Romeo Dorsey, and leading the way with a game-high 7 points so far is Jake Singleton. So Singleton with 7, Dorsey 6, and Webster 5. And Train, we'll now turn it over to you. See what you got stat-wise.
Stat-wise, first for the Indian Valley Braves are 5 of 15 from the field, 2 of 2 at the line, 0 of 4 on three-point shooting. Indian Valley holds a 14-12 edge in rebounding, leading them as Klasner with 5. No assist on the 5 field goals for Indian Valley, so there's been a lot of either an offensive putback or actually they have the 1 assist, is Anderson on the back door. Anderson has the 1 assist on the back door that he hit Klasner. That's their only assist on their 5 field goals. The others have been kind of dribble penetration or offensive putback. Meadowbrook, on the other hand, 8 of 19 from the field, so just over 40%, 42%. 1 of 2 at the line and 1 of 7 on 3. So the Colts kind of struggling from the perimeter as well. For their 18 points, rebounding for the Colts, they have 12. Leaders are Dorsey with 4, Mayo with 3 assists. Meadowbrook has 5. 2 each by Hupp and Webster, 1 by Jake Singleton. Meadowbrook has 2 blocks, 1 by Dorsey, 1 by Singleton. The most important thing is both teams have kind of settled down after a rocky start, and they've kind of the turnovers weren't as extreme in that second quarter, as we had a nice tight battle with Indian Valley outscoring the Colts 10-9 in that second quarter, but Meadowbrook still holding on to that 18-12 lead. And let's see, trying to get a score. It looks like New Philadelphia is up 28-14 over John Glenn in the third quarter.
Yeah, so you know the Muskies looking to pull off, which would be, maybe the biggest upset of the weekend. But down 14, the winner of this game will take on the winner of John Glenn and New Philly. And Train, as we get ready to approach the second half, you mentioned some of the girls' games this afternoon. Be remiss if we didn't give a shout-out. The Buckeye Trail hosted the Division III Girls District Finals, and it was Tusky Valley and Union Local.
Yeah.
The Lady Jets led by one Scooter Tosa, who had...
Meadowbrook fans might remember that name.
That name may ring a bell, yeah. And Union Local advanced. They beat a talented Tusky Valley squad today, so congratulations to Scooter and
on the other side, Division III at West Muskingum High School, the Fort Fry Lady Cadets defeated the Highland Lady Hawks. Talk about a big win for Coach Litke. He just got win career number 700 their last game. Tell you what, 701 may go down as maybe his last win, and it may go down as possibly one of his greatest wins of all time, because when you beat a team the caliber of Highland, I don't care if it's boys or girls basketball, that's something to be proud of.
Was it 37-24, I believe, was the final score?
It was like a 37-24, 36-25, somewhere around there.
Yeah, and, remember last year, Highlands girls and Fort Fry girls, they may have played the game of the year at Cambridge, and a heartbreaking loss for
And
the Lady Cadets, but they responded today.
Union Local and Fort Fry met earlier this year, I think, in some tournament or classic or whatever. It was a good barn burner. I think Union Local came out on top of it. So I'm sure those two are looking to counter each other as Klasner shots off, rebounded by Singleton.
And we're off and rolling here. Thanks for joining us on KGP TV. Here's a 3-ball by Webster. Nothing but the bottom of the net. And that is Meadowbrook's second 3. Webster has both of them. Indian Valley scoreless behind the 3-point arc. Hagan, nice spin move, gets to the basket. And we'll see if that gets him going.
Yeah, he gets off the schneid there with a nice spinning layup, driving baseline.
Train, that's what you want to do. If you're the shooter that Hagan is, you're struggling from the field, get to the basket, and maybe that'll make the rim look a little bigger. Dorsey misses. Webster.
That wasn't a miss. He passed that off to Webster.
That was a pass. We'll give him the assist.
I think he passed that off to Webster. And a big thing also here for Indian Valley, Pryor's back. He sat out the entire second quarter with having those 2 early fouls. So that could possibly help the Indian Valley Braves.
And they're going to go to Pryor, and he's going to get on the board. And he definitely makes a difference.
Wow, talk about a complete different of what the first half is. Both teams coming out offensively here in the second half. Meadowbrook hits a 3 and gets the lay-in from Webster.
Oh, nice step through by Dorsey. The footwork, impeccable. So it's a 9-point lead in Indian Valley. It looks like they're going to try to start helping out inside on Dorsey, because he's been a handful. McComb guarded tightly, just gets rid of it before the 5-second count. Hagan. And Singleton comes over with the steal. Pull up. Good.
Wow. Help right there by Singleton. Takes it away and then pulls up inside the arc, knocks down the long deuce. Meadowbrook's biggest lead here at 11.
Yeah, Meadowbrook, they've hit their first 5 shots here in the third quarter to lead by 11. Oh, there's bodies for Mail and Anderson get tied up, and they're going to call the foul on Mail.
It's going to be his second.
So Dorsey.
And I think Dorsey's like, wait a minute, he just pushed me there.
Yeah, him and Anderson, they are really bodying each other.
And unfortunately, Meadowbrook has a little less of a crowd tonight because some of their youth teams are playing. And my buddy Sean Mitchell coaches his son, Caden Mitchell. He's driving from Coshocton right now. He said Caden wants a shout-out, so I'll give my buddy Caden Mitchell a shout-out. I know you wanted to be here, but the Colts are looking good being up 11 here.
Yeah, and the delay is the ref stop play. Someone in the stands said a magic word or statement and has been asked to leave the gymnasium. So
the wrong your mama joke.
And here's a foul away from the play, and they're going to get Dorsey. That's his second foul. Like we said, Dorsey and Anderson, they have really been banging each other. Hagan has it. Guarded by Mail, spin, and he'll get to the line for 2.
So Hagan is definitely being a lot more aggressive here in the second half than what he was in the first half. He was kind of settling for jumpers, wasn't really comfortable taking the ball to the hole, and he's being aggressive here in the opening 3 minutes and 17 seconds of the second half.
Hagan's knocks down the free throw, and Now, Train, 4:47, still a lot of time here in the third. It's a 10-point game. It's Indian Valley now. Hagan makes it 9. How big are these next 4.5 minutes for Indian Valley? If you're down 12 or 13 going into the fourth against Meadowbrook and they pull it out with the premier scorer, in the area, that's going to be tough.
Well, Tuesday night we thought the game was over and Meadowbrook was up 10. And before we even got a minute into the fourth quarter, Cambridge cut that lead to 5. So, no lead is safe when it's tournament time because it's win or go home. And at this point, nobody wants to go home.
Hagan really attacking the basket, misses, but he's going to go to the line again as he just misses and then one. And boy, the foul, Meadowbrook, they've got 4 quick fouls here. Hagan, money from the line. So all 5 of his points here in the third quarter.
Eibel checking in from Mayo. I believe that was his third. Hagan, 0 points in the first half, has 6 points here as Coach Jarrett wants a timeout.
And Train, how about a shout out to our sponsors?
I'm glad we have a timeout here because it takes a while. We have RHEA, the Meadowbrook Teachers Union, FMJ Indoor Range, the Stimmer Family, Graham Excavating, Westfall Services, Main Screen Printing, Schaefer Insurance Agency, Rick's Place Auto Sales, Downtown Arena, Big Fitz's Barbecue, G&B Roofing, and Jagged Edges Hair Studio.
Indian Valley right before the timeout. Reese Colson, the 6'3 junior, has checked in for Anderson, so he will try his luck on Romeo Dorsey. Dorsey, the 6'4 senior, he has 8 points to go along with Singleton's 9 to lead Meadowbrook, 27-20.
And Meadowbrook still perfect at the field here in the second half as Singleton hit the 3 in the lay-in. And then Dorsey has 2 this third quarter, and Jake Singleton has 2 this quarter. So they're looking down. We see Coach Miles, the head coach of the girls team, walking across. I got to see him a lot during John Glenn Lady Muskie's live stream I watched earlier this afternoon, and he was in attendance there, sitting in the where if it was a Tri-Valley game, it would be their Tri-Valley student section, kind of set up how Meadowbrook has their student section at the dog house, as they like to call it.
Yeah, one of the better names in the MVL. Dorsey, spin move. Shot no good. He gets fouled, and he'll go to the line for a pair.
Also, we didn't mention this earlier, and this came as a surprise to me, and it probably will to you. That was the John Glenn Lady Muskie's first district title in school history in girls basketball.
Wow.
My thoughts exactly.
But hey, I tell you what though, I moved up here in 1989, Train, and I know they hadn't gone, since my time. And Dorsey splits a pair. Pryor secures the rebound for Indian Valley. So double high screen up top for Klassner. Hagan. Boy, nice closeout by Dorsey.
That's good defense by Dorsey. He's not really out there guarding a perimeter guy too very often, but he did a great job containing Hagan, making him have to give up the ball.
Yeah, Meadowbrook a little matchup zone here. And Dorsey did a nice job contesting without the foul. Singleton, 3-ball, good! Just like that. It's back to 11.
If you go borrow the line from Chris Berman, Singleton from way downtown, bang.
Hagan, back rim, no good.
And it hit the top there, so it's going to be a rebound to the Colts.
Now Dorsey hit the floor, but he's going to roll around. He's okay. Of course, that's easy for me to say. I didn't get plowed going for the rebound.
And eventually, you got to think Indian Valley is going to look to bring some full court pressure here as they're down 11, kind of switch something up here defensively. I hope they can get some steals and some quick transition points.
Dorsey misses, gets his own rebound. Double team, and he's going to go to the line.
So Romeo working hard in the paint there. Misses the first, gets his own board.
Not. I tell you, Meadowbrook, they have shot the ball well here in the third quarter. Dorsey knocks down the first free throw.
Yeah, it's pretty good when your only miss is one free throw and you're almost 6 minutes into the quarter.
Yeah, Meadowbrook had 8 field goals the entire first half. They have 5. They're going to get the foul on Hupp.
That's going to be his second.
And the 5th team foul.
And Dane Singleton's going to check in for Dorsey. This is probably a good substitution here, kind of just check on Dorsey. He's like, okay, we know you kind of hit the ground hard there a couple different times. You okay? Get a breather, get something to drink. We need you for the rest of this game.
So McComb, he had 6 points. He gets picked by Singleton. Layup, good. Timeout, Indian Valley, 2:05 left in the third. Your score, Meadowbrook 34, Indian Valley 20. We'll take a timeout and be right back. .205 left here in the third quarter. You're watching the boys Division II sectional final. Meadowbrook. They have led throughout, and now they have their biggest lead of the night of 14.
We just got a score update from John Glenn at New Philadelphia. New Philly is up 44-16.
Yeah, New Philly, Pryor goes strong, and he draws contact. That foul will be on Dane Singleton, and Pryor will go to the line. So Pryor, who sat the vast majority of the first half with 2 fouls, misses his first free throw. And that's the first missed free throw for Indian Valley. They were 6 of 6 prior. No pun intended.
Mm-hmm.
Now make them 7 of 8 as he cashes in on the second one.
Wow. And New Philadelphia has outscored John Glenn 21-2 in that third quarter to extend that lead to, I think, 47-16 now.
I tell you, New Philly, they are the real deal. Remember, Dover in the regular season had 1 loss, and
it was to New
Philly. Yeah, they split.
Man, that
Singleton 3, no good. Rebound, Hagan gives it to Carter.
Talk about unfortunate for him and fortunate for everybody else in Division II. Dover went down to, I think it was Austintown Fitch maybe?
Yes.
In the tournament, but wow, I tell you what, everybody in Division II is awful lucky because they probably would have ran the table with ease if they were in Division II this year. That's how good they were.
Oh, absolutely. As Hagen's 3 rimmed in and out, and on the jump ball possession arrow, the Meadowbrook. Now let's see what Meadowbrook wants to do here in the final 50 seconds. Up 13. And Indian Valley in dire straits. They have not hit a three-pointer. That's something this team does extremely well.
Meadowbrook looking probably here to hold for the last shot of the half, or last shot of the quarter, I should say.
Ivor has it. Singleton, 15. He'll give it up, and will probably come back and get it. Right on cue. Gets a high ball screen from Dorsey. Gives it to Dorsey. His pass knocked away 4 seconds. Klasner, shot blocked, and then still has time to get the shot off a second time, but that's no good. And 3 in the books here from Byesville. Your score after 3, Meadowbrook 34, Indian Valley 21. We'll step aside and be back for fourth quarter action here on KGP TV. Welcome back to Byesville. Meadowbrook up 13, started the fourth. Indian Valley, tough shooting continues, only 2 field goals there in the third quarter. And here's a foul. This will put Pryor to the line. But as I was saying, Indian Valley, 2 field goals in the third. They have 7 field goals for the game. And Meadowbrook had 6 in the third quarter alone. A big rebound by Hagen off the missed free throw, and he'll go to the line for 1 and 1.
And this isn't what you want if you're Coach Jarrett. You don't want them with the opportunity to score with the clock stopped. As Hagen, wow. They couldn't miss a free throw earlier. Now all of a sudden struggling to convert here in the fourth.
Yeah, and we talked about this. Meadowbrook will get a layup at the rim, no good. Dorsey stick back, no good. Wow, Indian Valley dodged a bullet there.
Some missed opportunities for both teams here.
Klasner D3, no good. Meadowbrook makes a one and done. Carter with the near steal knocks it out of bounds. And remember, McComb, the sophomore, he had 6 at halftime. I don't think he's gotten a shot here in the second half.
No.
Webster, 3 ball is good. Wow, that is 3 threes for Mr. Webster. And a 16-point Meadowbrook lead. Carter, shot rejected by Singleton.
No soup for you. That's Jake's 3rd block of the game.
Eibel thinks about the 3. He'll kick it back out. Dorsey Off the glass, good. Timeout, Indian Valley. As Meadowbrook continues to gain momentum as they are 6 minutes and 40 seconds away from yet another trip to the districts.
And it looks like that trip's more than likely going to be against that old ECOL foe in New Philadelphia, as they're on top 52-21 now over John Glenn.
And Train, you know, you talked about Dover and unfortunate for them and, you know, controversy with, you know, the numbers that they continue to be stuck up at D1, even though they have fought it. And I won't go into details why their numbers are high, but, you know, some people thought, you know, for Coach Von Kendall, this may have been his best team. That's saying a lot. And a lot of people were, the big news was, you know, they're the number 1 seed. They went down to the 15th seed. Let me tell you, when you get to Division I, the 15th seed is a lot different, because they're probably playing, and that, you know, they're an actual D1 school. They're playing D1 teams, and that could be very misleading, but, you know, just a heartbreaker, you know, for Dover. And like you said, man, if they were in D2, wow.
Yeah, and the big thing is they're a small D1 school. I'm sure that Fitch, that they're not a small Division I school. They have a lot more numbers, and they go, and they can have a lot more of a talent pool, so to speak, to choose from.
Deep three, no good for Hagan, and Indian Valley continues to be over from three-point land. And that will be the third team fouls. Indian Valley can afford to be very aggressive, and you're almost in panic mode, down 18.
That would be their mood as well right now if you're an Indian Valley fan too.
Nice crowd from Janae Hutt. A no look, and all the way to the basket. That was Hupp, and that's his first deuce. And wow, what an impressive performance by Meadowbrook. Fadeaway by Glassner, quality shooter. He cannot get one to fall. Nibel will bring it up. Meadowbrook up 20. Give it to Eibel. Winger guarding Eibel, tough. Nice backdoor cut. Layup, Singleton, good. Wow, the offensive execution in their spread game has been phenomenal.
And I think Jake Singleton's the one guy you got to know where he's at all the time, and they lost him as Pryor comes back with the bucket.
Was that not a big-time move there by Pryor? Dorsey looking for a cutter. He'll spin. Throw the ball back out. Whoa.
Walking the tightrope.
Straight to the basket. Layup, good! And he was fouled as Hupp goes back-to-back baskets.
And that was a good call. I'm sure the Indian Valley fans are kind of hoping maybe for a charge there, but he didn't quite get underneath him in time. Wasn't set. Hupp finishes the bucket, draws the foul.
So Hupp cashes in on the old-fashioned three-point play. 46-23. Pryor will draw contact and go to the line. And boy, what a huge crowd we have here tonight. Big Orange Nation have shown up, as they always do, as Pryor connects on his first free throw attempt, and a nice contingent have made their way up from Janaden Hutton, and they are got to be shell-shocked
Yeah, I don't think anyway.
No, yeah,
I expected a close game. I mean, I was going to say, Meadowbrook's going to win, or Indian Valley's going to win. I expected a close game. Obviously, Meadowbrook is your favorite based on the seeding, but Meadowbrook, just their defensive intensity has been outstanding tonight. And really, in the second half, the offense has started to match the defense.
And remember, it was 18-12 at halftime, Meadowbrook. But they have just exploded. Meadowbrook gets a timeout. We'll keep it here as Dorsey got on the floor for it. But a 21-point lead, 4:36 left. And when you look, Train, for Indian Valley, they had 10 points in the second quarter. They had a combined 11 points between the first and third quarter combined. So Meadowbrook's defense, you've done a lot of Meadowbrook games. Has this been the most impressive performance?
Yeah, I think definitely this has been Meadowbrook's most impressive defensively. And obviously, I'm sure if they fed off the crowd, like I said a minute or two into the game, this has allowed us this gym's been this year. So really, the energy the crowd's brought has helped those 5 young men that are on the floor step up and make plays on the defensive end. And you were talking about Indian Valley and their three-point shooting prowess. They're 0 of 10 from the perimeter tonight, and that's another big key. If you make just 3 or 4 of those, we're talking you make 4 of them, it's a one-possession game.
But Train,
not a one-possession game, but a single-digit game, I should say.
But Train, I think what's the most impressive thing there, it's not that Indian Valley, they haven't made a shot. They've only attempted 10 three-point shots, and the reason being is Meadowbrook's done a great job running them off the three-point line and then contesting well at the basket. So Eibel gives it to Hupp. Again, Meadowbrook spreads it out. They'll take a layup if it's there. Singleton down the lane. Boy, did he cover some ground prior for the love of elevation on that board. Boy, was he up in the air. Carter has it as we're nearing the midway point here of the fourth quarter. Hagan, open jumper, nothing but the bottom of the net.
I think that's his first jump shot bucket because his first field goal, I think, was a lay-in, wasn't it?
Yeah, and the rest from the free throw line, yes. He got a layup, and that's his first perimeter shot. And I thought we had, probably Division II. I don't know if you have 2 better three-point shooters when you got Singleton shooting 53% and Hagan shooting 52%.
And I don't know how good percentage-wise Drew Webster is. He doesn't shoot a whole bunch, high-volume three-point shooter, but it seems like he takes great outside shots within the offense, and obviously he's 3 of 4 from the perimeter tonight, and he's taking shots that he gets within the offense and is knocking them down.
So 46-27 is Eibel. We'll have a seat as Mayo will check back in. Boy, how about Webster? 13 points.
So Indian Valley's kind of looking to trap the corners here or anybody up top who gets the ball, trying to get a turnover. And Meadowbrook doing a good job playing keep-away as Dorsey down the lane.
Layup good. Yeah, in Indian Valley, the trap, they have to go small, and there's just no one to contest Dorsey inside. Pryor, nice move. That rims in and out. Meadowbrook up 21. 2.5 minutes left. It'll be Meadowbrook and New Philly in the district semis.
Yep.
A rare turnover for Meadowbrook. And on the other side, you had, I know East Liverpool was playing tonight.
Them in St. Clairsville.
Them in St. Clairsville. And
West Holmes and Tri-Valley was the other one.
Pryor, no good. Rebound Hagan, and he'll be fouled by Singleton. And 2:07 here. You know, we've had some, some blowouts tonight. That was not the case last night, Train. As Hagan knocks down the first free throw, the Division III boys, well, what games that they had last night. West End advanced in knocking off Sandy Valley in overtime. You mentioned Ridgewood knocking off Bel Air in overtime, 71-70. Tusky Valley knocked off Morgan by one.
Yep.
And our beloved Buckeye Trail Warriors lost a heartbreaker to the number 1 seed, Garaway Pirates, by 4. Hagan, coast to coast, layup good. So Hagan now has 12. That's his third field goal. So minute and a half left. Indian Valley still fighting. You would expect that. Here's another turnover. McComb, nice pump fake. And Indian Valley closing strong, but they're going to come up a little bit short, but they do have it back to 15. And then, Train, we talked about Division III, so it's West End and Tusky Valley,
yes.
And then Ridgewood and Garaway. So 3 IVC schools represented in the Division III district.
Yeah, and I'm sure Highlands Division IV boys, and I'm sure they're probably going to represent Division IV at some place too.
Yeah. Last night, Monroe Central with the win over Caldwell.
Yeah. Shady Side defeated River too, an upset there.
That was a low-scoring 31-29 game. And yes, Highland did advance as well over TCC.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
they won I think 61-56, 5-point game, and they're going to. And Malvern, they had the only wide margin game last night. They knocked off a talented Strasburg squad by 20. Pryor will draw the foul. And now Meadowbrook is in the bonus. Has Hupp to the line. First free throw is up and good. Josh has 6 points. All of those here in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Second free throw, no good.
And it's going to stay possession as Pryor and Hagan battle for the rebound, and then neither one of them retrieve it.
So Merrill to trigger it in. Train, any guesstimation where the game will be Tuesday night?
I was thinking it might be at the Indian Valley possibly.
Indian Valley, Claymont,
or Claymont
range?
Yeah, that would those would be my top two, I guess, projections right now. Maybe Coshocton. But
outside chance Dover.
See, I think they're going to say
close,
that's too close for New Philly.
Good call, yeah. I agree. I think one of those three.
I now that I'm thinking about it, I think my money's on Coshocton.
And Coach Taryn Jarrett, his first year. And congratulations to Coach Jarrett, his coaching staff, and the Meadowbrook Colts as they will advance to the districts. As the Meadowbrook Colts are your 2022 sectional champions, Division II, as they knock off a talented and well-coached Indian Valley squad. Your score, Meadowbrook 49, Indian Valley 33. So we'll step aside and come back, crunch some numbers, and wrap things up here from Meadowbrook as the Colts advance to the sectional, or to the district, as your sectional champions here on KGP TV. Welcome back to Byesville. Division II boys sectional finals. The game is over and Meadowbrook advances with a 49-33 victory over a very solid Indian Valley Brave squad who finishes their season with a record of 16 and 8.
15 and 8.
Or did they have a tournament win, or did this?
They had. I think they only played 21. I think there was
Okay.
regular season.
Yes, they did get one tournament win. Okay, yeah, 15 and 7. Meadowbrook improves to 21 and 2. We'll look at first the team scoring. Meadowbrook with a 9-2 lead after one quarter of play. Indian Valley would cut into it by 1 point, outscoring Meadowbrook 10-9 in the second quarter, where Meadowbrook would take an 18-12 lead into the locker room. But then the third quarter, that's where things really opened up for Meadowbrook. They came out and hit their first 5 field goals to really get the double-digit lead that they never relinquished after that, as they outscored Indian Valley 16-9 in the third quarter. The lead by 13, 34-21, going into the fourth quarter. And again, Meadowbrook would get hot early and often in the fourth quarter to open the lead up by as much as 21 points. But Indian Valley would get it back to within 16, and that's where the game final score would end, as Meadowbrook outscored Indian Valley 15-12 in the fourth. Now we'll look at the individual scoring. First for Indian Valley, they got 2 points each from Sam Carter, Cameron Anderson, and Isaac Glasner. 7 points for Tyson Pryor, all of those in the second half, as Pryor was saddled with foul trouble and sat most of the first half. 8 points for Tanyan McComb. 6 of those came in the first half. And then leading the way was the outstanding senior and 1,000-point scorer Lucas Hagan, as he will finish with 12 points, all 12 in the second half. So Hagan with 12, McComb 8, Pryor 7, Glasner, Anderson, and Carter with 2 points apiece. For the victorious Meadowbrook Colts, they had 4 players that would dent the scoring column. 6 points for Josh Hupp. All 6 of those came in the fourth quarter. 13 points for Drew Webster. 3 of those were with 3 3-pointers. So 9 of his 13 came from behind the arc. 14 for Romeo Dorsey, who really was a handful for Indian Valley to stop inside this. Romeo finishes with 14, and then Jake Singleton with a game-high 16 points. He had 7 at half and had 7 in the third, where Meadowbrook really opened the game up. So it's Jake with 16, Dorsey 14, Webster 13, and Hupp 6. And Meadowbrook's defense trained outstanding, holding explosive Indian Valley offense to only 33 points. And it was the first and third quarter where Indian Valley only had 11 points total between the first and third quarter.
Yeah, Meadowbrook just did a great job, really set the tempo early defensively and kept up that momentum, and really in the second half just came out and got a lot of big buckets, made a lot of big shots, and really took control of the game. And here's like the shocking thing. Meadowbrook has 2 tournament wins, and everybody talks Jake Singleton, all-time leading scorer. His 2 lowest scoring games have been the game against Cambridge, when he only, we'll stress only, had 17 points, And tonight he only again had 16 points. He still had a great game both games, but the other guys are stepping up. I mean, like you said, Dorsey with a big game with 14, Webster with 13, hit 3 big threes, Hupp with a big fourth quarter with all of his 6 points. So even though Singleton's not getting his, there's 5 guys on that floor, and they're playing together, and they're playing well together, making plays and getting each other involved and making sure everybody gets a chance to share the pill and share the wealth and make big things. And I'm sure Coach Jared, Coach Schwederman, Coach Andrews, and Coach Nichols might be already kind of talking about New Philadelphia and talking about how good they are and possibly breaking down some film on them. Obviously, like you said, New Philly defeated Dover earlier this year, but when Meadowbrook and New Philly have met recently, it's been Meadowbrook that's come on the upper hand of those games the past as their old ECUL foes. So there's going to be some familiar faces, I guess you could say, on each side of the basketball court.
Yeah, and you look at Meadowbrook, if you're Coach Jarrett, you know, you beat Cambridge. That game was a war, and you beat an outstanding Indian Valley team to be sectional champs this night. Make it all about that success. You got plenty of time to turn your attention towards New Philly starting tomorrow, but tonight definitely relish in what you have accomplished thus far, and just an impressive performance. And Train, you mentioned, you know, Jake Singleton, the constant pressure and ball denial that he gets. You know, you heard, you know, boxing one, the teams, you know, that Indian Valley played man, it was actually a man in one. They don't help. Mm-hmm. It's a face guard. Indian Valley worked hard to get against them. So what does Jake do? He ratchets it up on the defensive end, and I think 3 of his buckets came where he picked an offensive player, stripped him, and took it down and shot a layup. And, you know, he just gets it done on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, and that's just a true sign of a great all-around overall player, and he makes big plays and makes plays when his team needs him. And I think you're right, there was 3. I'm looking at my stats. I have an S and then a circle 2 right beside it. So I'm almost positive. I know 2 for sure I can remember, but I think you're right on the 3 as I have it on my scoring sheet. So looking down at the team statistics, we have the visiting Indian Valley Braves were 11 of 31 from the field, roughly 35%. They were 11 of 13 at the free throw line, so made as many free throws as they did field goals. Rebounding, they out-rebounded Meadowbrook big time in the first half, but the second half they only had 7 rebounds, so they only had 21 total rebounds after having only 7 rebounds in the second half after having 14 in the first half. Leading away was Hagen with 6 and Kleisner with 5 assists. They had 3, 1 apiece by Hagen, Pryor, and Anderson. And then Hagen had their 2 blocks. Over on the Meadowbrook side, finished with 27 rebounds. Dorsey led the way with 7. Jake Singleton had 5. 4 blocks, and we're talking about Singleton doing a good job getting his hand on passes, getting deflections and steals. He ended up with 3 blocks. I mean, there's not too many 5'11" guards that are going to have 3 blocks in the game, and Jake got 3 of them tonight, and Dorsey had the other for their 4 assists. Meadowbrook had 10 assists. Leading the way, Webster and Singleton with 3 each. So a big win. Meadowbrook shot 20 of 36 from the field, so an impressive. They were 8 of 19 the first half, 12 of 17 in the second half. So talk about a team that just was getting good open looks. Overall, shooting 62.5% with 20 of 36. So an impressive field goal percentage. Even more impressive is the 12 of 17, which would be roughly 70% from the field. I think you shoot that high percentage, you're going to win a lot of games. And Meadowbrook won tonight, and they're advancing Wednesday night against New Philadelphia.
Yeah, and sometimes, Train, you talk about the rebounding. Meadowbrook only 21, but if you look behind the numbers, sometimes there's a reason why. Second half, Meadowbrook, they made 12 field goals. They didn't miss many shots, so there wasn't many opportunities to get an offensive rebound. And Indian Valley on the other end, Meadowbrook held them to 6 field goals in the second half total. So, Indian Valley went to the free throw line a good bit there in the second half. So not a lot of rebounding opportunities there. But Meadowbrook advances to the districts. They'll take on New Philly in the district semifinal game. So that ought to be a lot of fun. Matt Vols got an outstanding team for New Philly. So it'll be a lot of fun. So as we head out, one final shout out to our sponsors.
We'll thank our sponsors one last time. OHSAA, the Meadowbrook Teachers Union, FMJ, Indoor Range, the Stemmer Family, Graham Excavating, Westfall Services, Main Screen Printing, Schaefer Insurance Agency, Rick's Place Auto Sales, Downtown Arena, Big Fitz Barbecue, G&B Roofing, and Jagged Edges Hair Studio. So thank them for sponsoring us here during this tournament run, and we're going to go at least one more, hopefully, as they playing Wednesday night, 7 p.m. at a site to be determined. We kind of discussed. We think my money right now is on Coshocton High School. If I had to place a bet right now, it would be Coshocton High School, but Indian Valley High School or Claymont High School's two other possible options. You even could go maybe even Cambridge High School as an option, but I think if I had to place money on it, I would probably go with
one of those three.
I would go with Coshocton if I had, just because that's the most neutral, and they try to make it to where both teams kind of have the same travel distance. It's kind of unfair when one team travels 5 minutes and the other team has to travel 30 minutes. It's a big difference. They try to kind of even it out, so to speak.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Coshocton, Indian Valley, Claymont, it looks like one of those three. Well, as we head out again, we want to thank our fine sponsors, and we want to thank you, our audience, for tuning in here on KGP Facebook and KGP TV for the Indian Valley Meadowbrook game. Thank you as always. We want to thank our lovely assistant, Brittany Rowe, as well. Carson Todd also coming in and helping out on the broadcast as well. And Train, one final note. We ask all of Guernsey County and the folks outside of the county as well tuning in to keep the Singler family in your prayers. Kara Singler, who was a freshman at Buckeye Trail this past Tuesday, unfortunately passed away after quite a few years. That kid battled cancer, and the attitude that she showed in the fight encouraged true warrior spirit. She life ended this past Tuesday. So remember the Buckeye Trail community and the Kara Singular family. Please keep them in your thoughts and prayers. And Karis, I had the privilege to teach the kid coming up through gym class, and just such a inspiration to so many of us. So you're in our thoughts and prayers. And for Carson Todd, Caleb Graham, Brittany Rowe, my partner in crime, D-Train, thanks a lot. I'm merely Tom Strasser, wishing everyone a good night and a pleasant rest of the weekend. Your final score, Meadowbrook 49, Indian Valley 33. The Colts are your 2022 sectional champions.
And because Heath couldn't make it, I'll say it for him. You stay classy, Guernsey County.
10-4.